This is an addendum to the fuel system upgrade for the Racor system that I did previously. And the reason for this is that there's been a lot of speculation on exactly how this fuel system works in the forums and Facebook and so forth. So I phoned Caterpillar and talked to one of their technicians for a period of time and got some documentation from them. So I'll present that here, and you can see exactly how this thing is supposed to work. Someone on Facebook had posted their system running on the older Win 200-200 system. That was the system that came with the coach when it was first built, I think. And you can see it's a nice clear bowl, and you can see that the filter, the fuel running into the filter is very minimal amount of fuel. It doesn't fill the bowl up at all. It's just cascading in. And that is a problem because this fuel is used to cool the injectors, and you'll see that in the documentation. So this is a system running, and the original system that is, and then you'll see I'll start up the system running the upgrade that I did, same engine, and you can look at the fuel bowl on that and see where it is. Now you'll see when it first starts up, I just let it run on idle, and you can see the filter is about almost full to the top. That's a gravity feed more than likely, or whatever residual vacuum is left on the fuel filter. This has a transfer pump into the built onto the engine that pulls the fuel from the tank through these filters and then into the high pressure system. So when the thing's on fast idle, it draws down to about half full, I think. I originally thought this was leaking air because I saw bubbles in the surface of the fuel in the filter. However, it isn't due to air leaks, I think now. It's because the fuel is cascading in and dropping into the surface, and that creates a bubble. It's not particularly many bubbles, but anyway, that was the misunderstanding that I had previously. We'll let this thing run through, and then I'll explain what the documentation says about this system. This drawing shows the fuel system that we have in the Safari. So on mine, I've got the additional filter called a goldenrod, and it's annotated there. That has a 80 mesh or 40 micron filter, so it'll take particles down to 40 microns, and I can see them. It also has a water separator. The Racor has a 100 micron filter that's behind a little removable closed cap, and that goes into a 10 micron spin-on filter. Now I don't want to take the 100 micron filter out, so that's why the goldenrod is there. Plus it allows me to see what's going on in the system. I don't want to take that fuel tank out. So it comes out of the Racor system, filtered down to 2 microns, and then it goes into the transfer pump. The transfer pump is a vacuum system. It pulls it from the tank. It then pressurizes it to go through the fuel filter. That's marked as 11 there, which then goes into the front port on the head of the engine, and that feeds each of the injectors. The high pressure oil system from the HEUI pump then activates the injectors, putting the fuel into the cylinders and burning it. The excess fuel that is not burnt goes out the back end of the head, and that's also used to cool the injectors and the head, and that returns then into the tank, and there's a pressure regulator there. Now, this is all listed on, I believe it is starts on page 10 of the documentation that I've included on this project. I've got the documentation from CAT. This is their documentation on the fuel system, and you can look that up, and I think there's 35 pages in there. It's an excellent document if you're interested in this sort of thing. So that's it. I hope this clears up some of the misconceptions. It's not a gravity feed system. There is gravity that will feed the thing and fill it, but that will not run the fuel filter system. It's actually the transfer pump that pulls with a vacuum, then pressurizes through the filter, then into the head, and so forth. Thank you.